SummerSlam season is upon us, and in today's video, I'm going to bring to you my SummerSlam 2021 preview and predictions. However, this won't just be your regular run-of-the-mill, stock-standard wrestling community just pay-per-view predictions video. It won't just be me going, oh, I think Sasha Banks will win the women's title. No. What this video will be is me doing something called Big Calls. Now, you may be wondering, Elitus, what do you mean by big calls? This is a new concept, explain it. So, for big calls, I will be doing one big call per match at SummerSlam. So, as of right now, there are 8 matches, so I'm going to be doing 8 big calls. If I don't get 3 of these big calls minimum correct, I will have to make a video of you guys' choosing. Now, for this, what you'll do, comment down below a video idea that you'd probably think I'd hate making. God knows, for example, Finn Balor's the best wrestler in the world, or just something like that. And I have to make a serious attempt at that video. Okay, so what I'll do, I'll make that video next week sometime if I don't get 3 or more of these big calls correct, okay? Make sense? All good. So, the comment with the most likes down below will be the video I'll make. Make sense? All good. So that being said, let's just get into this, okay? I want to discuss these SummerSlam matches a bit. I want to make some big calls. This is going to be a bit of fun. So, I'm going to kick us off with the big match. Roman Reigns versus John Cena. Reigns defends the Universal Championship against John Cena. You've got the Tribal Chief, heel, head of the table Roman Reigns against John Cena, Mr. 16-time world champion, face that runs the place. This match, I can't wait for. Okay, their promo off on SmackDown for the... Well, this past week as of the making of this video, but the second last SmackDown before SummerSlam, bloody great. Just them two face to face, it's not hard. Okay, I made the whole video about how WWE was muddling up the build with Balor and Corbin's out there, and it was getting all messy, and you got Usos beating up Balor. WWE, they stripped it right back. You had John Cena, Roman Reigns, face to face, throwing barbs, Reigns' line about, missionary not appeasing Nikki Bella for 20 years, like... That's just bloody great. Cena saying that he doesn't need to, beat Roman's ass. He just needs to, pin him 1, 2, 3. Like, all around, that segment was what I wanted from the build, and it's what a lot of people wanted. It's just simple. It's the two biggest stars WWE have made in the past, 15 years, just jawing with one another. Just damn good segment. The crowd was really involved in it. Awesome stuff. Hopefully, the go-home show for SummerSlam, they do something really sick as well. So that way, the SummerSlam build is just exponentially better because, my god, it was going on poorly for this, but yeah, really good face-off of these two, got me genuinely hyped. As for the prediction, when it comes to this one, Cena winning, it's a possibility. It's definitely, there's a chance it'll happen, probably like a 10% chance, 90% chance, if not more, Roman Reigns wins this match. I think Roman Reigns, our Tribal Chief, beats Cena, and his reign goes to 300 and, I don't know how many, 56 days or something like that, nearly a year. I think Reigns gets the win over Cena in this match. I can't wait for it. So as far as the big call, for this match, my big call is that the Demon Finn Balor confronts Roman Reigns to end the show as Reigns is standing tall after getting the win, okay? That's my big call. I think Roman Reigns beats Cena clean, Reigns is standing to close the show, and the Demon Finn Balor makes his return and confronts Roman Reigns. So that's my big call. Hopefully that happens. If it doesn't happen, more than likely I have to do the punishment. So that's that one. Now, moving on to the next match. Lashley versus Goldberg. Okay, Bobby Lashley defends the WWE Championship against Big Bill Goldberg. This match, it's going to be fun. For the time it lasts, it's going to be really enjoyable. Personally, I'm really looking forward to it. I think both of these guys bring something to the table as far as a fast-paced, action-packed, intense match. Obviously, we all know the truth about Goldberg. He's not going to wrestle a 26-minute match, and, nor should he. He's 54. I think the build for this one, it's been okay. It's been okay to good. It hasn't been some incredible build. They had the whole thing with, Goldberg's son getting involved, and you had wrestling Twitter, being bloodthirsty to see Goldberg's real-life son get beat up. Okay. So that happened. You've had Lashley coming out there more serious. You've had MVP cutting promos, running down Goldberg. They had the Goldberg and Lashley face-off. Just a good build. Obviously, it's not Lashley versus Lesnar, but, Goldberg's near enough the next best thing. So, yeah, build's been good. I think as for the match, my prediction is that Lashley retains the WWE title. And my big call is that Bobby Lashley beats Bill Goldberg in less than 3 minutes and it's using a Hurt Lock. So, that's my prediction. Less than 3 minutes the match goes for, and Lashley wins with a hurt lock. So that's the prediction there. Then moving on, we've got Edge versus Seth Rollins, okay? This one, build's been pretty good. Obviously, a lot of this build is based around that Edge and Seth Rollins segment on the final Raw of 2014, where you had Big Show holding down Edge and Seth Rollins was starting to break Edge's neck. So a lot of the build's been predicated on that. Additionally, they've done actually a good bunch of like new stuff with this build, which has been good. They had the stuff in Money in the Bank where Edge basically had his Universal title, opportunity cost by Seth Rollins, because Seth Rollins was jealous, he was bitter. Rollins was trying to just take down Edge and not let him win the championship because Rollins thinks he should be the guy to win the title. Like, that bit's fairly simple, but it's effective. It works. You don't need to be overcomplicated. Works out well. The promo offs between these two have been pretty good. I've thought Seth Rollins, he can be a bit painful on the mic. I think that's common sense as far as just that opinion. But just generally speaking, some good promo offs. Edge, Edge is the best mic worker in the business. I feel that's irrefutable at this point. But yeah, Edge has been awesome on the mic. Seth Rollins has been pretty good. They've done well to build this up. And yeah, just generally good stuff. As far as my prediction, I think Seth Rollins beats Edge at SummerSlam and Seth Rollins defeats Edge. So my preview for this one, my big call for this match, okay, my big call is that Edge attempts to curb stomp Seth Rollins to get, revenge from 7 years ago. So Edge tries to break Seth Rollins' neck. Rollins avoids it, catches him with a curb stomp or some kind of move, gets the win. So Seth Rollins defeats Edge to win the match there. Now, moving on to the next match, Bianca Belair defending the SmackDown Women's Championship against Sasha Banks, okay? This match has been built so much better than the WrestleMania match, honestly. Like, you look at WrestleMania, what did they do to build up the WrestleMania match between Belair and Banks? Can someone remind me of that? Oh yeah, that's right. You had Belair saying, "I'm the EST," and Sasha saying, "I'm the boss." And then Belair saying, "I'm the BEST." And then Sasha saying, "No, I'm the BEST." And then Belair saying, "No, I'm the boss." Like, you get the point. The build was very bland on the road to WrestleMania. Now, it's much better. The contract signing was done really well. I like the fact that you had Vega and Carmella getting involved. Like, so you're using the fact that Belair's pissed off these heels in the past couple of weeks and using that against her and actually bringing that up and bringing that to the surface. And you got the heels playing the numbers game. Like, all those three women, Vega, Carmella, and Banks, as per storyline, hate Bianca Belair. So it works out well. It's logical. It's effective. My big call for this match is that after interference from Zelina Vega and Carmella, Sasha Banks catches Bianca Belair and beats her to win the SmackDown Women's Championship. So, prediction is Sasha Banks wins the SmackDown Women's Championship thanks to interference from thanks to interference from Vega and Carmella. There we go. So, that's my big call. Hopefully that happens, I dare say. So, that's that one. Then, moving on to the other Women's Championship match. The Raw Women's Championship's on the line as Nikki, almost a superhero, defends the title against Charlotte Flair and Rhea Ripley. Quite possibly the most random concoction of women you could have possibly put in there. You've got a dollar store Wonder Woman versus Ric Flair's 30-something-year-old daughter versus a 24-year-old Australian, as you do. So that's the Raw Women's title match. Build, I haven't even watched the build. I've barely been paying attention to Raw. As far as this build, I just don't care. Charlotte's involved, Rhea's involved, I struggle to care. Like, Rhea Ripley's my favourite Australian wrestler, don't get me wrong, but I just don't care. So, I mean, as far as this one goes, I mean, my big call for this match, okay? Sorry, well, my prediction for the match is Charlotte Flair wins the Raw Women's Championship, and my big call is that Charlotte Flair wins back the Raw Women's Championship, and JD from New York will burst a blood vessel on stream, screaming about the outcome. So, that's my big call for this match. Be interesting to see if that happens. If Charlotte Flair wins the title here, no doubt the individual from New York I just mentioned a moment ago will probably burst a blood vessel on stream. So that's that one. Then moving on, Sheamus versus Damian Priest. Sheamus defends the US title against Damian Priest. This match, I'll keep it quick because it's an undercard match from the Raw side. I don't think many people really care. I like the fact that Damian Priest is involved. I think Priest and Sheamus is going to be a fun, like, physical undercard match, which all you can really ask for just an undercard US title match. It's a good matchup, Sheamus and Priest. My prediction is Damian Priest wins the US title, and my big call is that Damian Priest wins after some help and interference from Ricochet. I just think WWE, knowing how their booking works, they're not just going to have Priest beat Sheamus one-on-one. They're going to have Ricochet run down and probably say, hey, Sheamus, got your hat. And then Priest will like roll him up or something. That's some WWE crap they'll do. So that's the prediction and big call there. Then moving on, Drew McIntyre versus Jinder Mahal. This match, once again, it's an undercard, mid-card match on the Raw side. So I feel very little investment in it. But that said, I feel like Drew McIntyre wins this match. I think, yeah, that's definitely my prediction. Drew wins this match. My big call is that Drew McIntyre wins the match clean, and Twitter freak out about long-term storytelling because WWE makes some reference vaguely to Heath Slater during the match, and everyone's crying out about long-term storytelling on Twitter. So that's the big call there. And lastly, the Usos defend the SmackDown Tag Team Championships against the Mysterios. So for this match, look, I'm going with the Mysterios to win back the SmackDown Tag Team titles. I think the Mysterios, they had a little run to the titles. They won them on the SmackDown before Mania in an empty arena. I think they're due a moment in front of an audience as far as them winning the titles together. I think that moment's due. I think the Usos had a good little run here. You know, had a few defenses. They've been good, decent champions. But I just think the Mysterios win it back here as a result of my big call, which is Jey Uso turning on Jimmy Uso, allowing the Mysterios to win back the titles, okay? So the big call, Jey Uso turns on Jimmy Uso there, John. So those are the big calls for SummerSlam, and those are my SummerSlam predictions. So just to recap, I'll recap my predictions now. Roman Reigns retains the Universal Championship. Lashley retains the WWE Championship. Seth Rollins defeats Edge. Sasha Banks defeats Bianca Belair to win the SmackDown Women's Championship. Nikki Ash loses, she loses the Triple Threat. Thereby, Charlotte wins the Raw Women's Championship in the Triple Threat. Damian Priest beats Sheamus to become United States Champion. The Mysterios defeat the Usos to become new SmackDown Live Tag Team Champions. And Drew McIntyre defeats Jinder Mahal. So those are the predictions. Big calls. Once again, to recap, Demon Finn Balor confronts Roman Reigns to close the show. Lashley beats Goldberg in less than 3 minutes with a hurt lock. Edge attempts to curb stomp Seth Rollins and try and break his neck, but Seth Rollins catches him and gets the win. Sasha Banks beats Belair after interference from Carmella and Zelina Vega. And Charlotte Flair will win back the Women's title, and JD from NY will burst a blood vessel on stream. Damian Priest wins the US title after help from Ricochet. The Usos turn on each other, specifically Jey turns on Jimmy, allowing the Mysterios to win the titles back. And lastly, Drew McIntyre beats Jinder Mahal, and there's a reference to Heath Slater that makes Twitter cream. So those are SummerSlam preview and predictions, some big calls. Leave down below video suggestions that you'd want to see me do, preferably something kind of funny that I wouldn't want to do because of content. So that's the video. I hope you guys enjoyed. If you did, be sure to like, comment, subscribe, and drill.